Happy New Year! Welcome back to the.
It's April.
Well, it's been when was our last episode? Like in December or something?
I say it's been a minute. God, I did not realize.
Yeah, we're through the first quarter of the year and we're behind schedule, but we're coming back strong. We got a whole year's worth of content planned. We got guests lined up. We got recurring guests, new guests. It's going to be awesome. We have background music now. It's a professionally run org here. All right, I digress. We're talking about something controversial today. What is the optimal swim rest interval for your training, along with what we got going on the 21st of this month? Then that's not it's kind of controversial, that part. Also, we're gonna go over our plans for the season, what races we're rocking at. So if you want to come find us and get our signature, let us know. Get some pics at the race. We'll do that for you. And we'll kind of see how much time we got left after that. So with that said, Carrie, what is the optimal rest swim interval?
My answer is, as it always is when you ask me almost any question in this space, is that it depends.
You got to pick one or the other, man. Is it 1 minute, 2 minutes, 30 seconds, 10 seconds?
Honestly, I do one of two. I do either 20 seconds or 1 minute, and it's only on particular reasons. So if I'm doing sprints, I always do a minute, and then otherwise it's 20 seconds. And we talk about this article where the high intensity swims, they bring up to 30 to 40 seconds. And reading that's probably not a bad idea. I always feel, for some reason, 20 is my magic number. And so I'll keep going with the high speed reps, begrudgingly, wishing I had taken longer of a break. But maybe there's some science behind that, and I should slow it down so I can keep the good form, not feel like I'm dying, and enjoy the swim a little more. But that's okay. That's my cadence. 1 minute for sprint, 20 seconds otherwise.
Repeat that one more time. I was reading while trying to act like I was listening to you.
If I'm doing sprints, my rests are around a minute.
Okay.
If I'm doing anything else, it's almost always 20 seconds.
All right, you're doing exactly what it says. I think I was like the opposite, to be honest, or not a hybrid. My rest time is like a minute. I have the worst, I don't know, what is it, habit of when I finish my set, I like take my goggles off, I take a drink of water, I turn around, fuss with my goggles, and by that time it's like a minute and a half has gone by. It doesn't matter if that was like a 50, 100, a 200, 400, whatever. It's the same process. And so I have to stop. I've been trying to stop doing that, but my goggles always get water in them. So I leave the pool looking like I'm high. Like I'm afraid I'm going to get pulled over by the police. And they're like, why are your eyes red? And I'm like, I was swimming. And so I look at the goggle things. But so I always have to dump the water out. That's why I started doing that. But you're the correct one. I shouldn't be surprised. How did you figure that out? Is that what your coach told you?
Yeah. Like since we started, the plans always said 20-second rest. And then they started to change, and I'm like, I don't do change. We're going to stick with 20 seconds. But to your point, when the goggle problem, that's kind of the only interruption for me. About halfway through my workouts, that'll start to happen. So that's usually when a 1 minute break will happen. And besides that, if I have to mess with my goggles at all, I'm really annoyed. Or when I hit the wall at the end of a set, I have enough time to kind of sit for a second, kind of look around, see what time it is, and then start the next set. If I'm doing more than that, I'm annoyed, and I want to get back to work.
Wow. I could not train with you. I think we would I'm like so lazy in the pool, and I don't even follow. That's cool. So let me go back to this article to corroborate and affirm you. They say if you want to swim aerobically, Keep the rest period short along the lines of 10 to 30 seconds. So I've been trying that, trying to keep it to 25 or so seconds. It's really tough to do. But if you want to swim fast, it then says to have, there's your 1 minute rest between repetitions. One thing that I thought was interesting, if I can find it, but their sprints, I don't know if you could call 200 a sprint, but the longest distance they were suggesting here in a speed workout is 10 by 200. And I think you were saying GTN was saying to do the opposite, or that's what they do. What was going on with them?
Well, this is aerobics. This is still fairly calm, right? So their high intensity was marked as 50 and their sprint was at 25, which isn't too far from what I would recommend or what I've done. No one's asked me for my recommendations, so it doesn't matter what I recommend. Like 25 to 50 is usually about the cap for the sprint sessions. Almost all my sets will do 200s, 100s, and the occasional 300, but the 300s are always very slow as far as pacing goes. But yeah, this article is pretty much spot on to what my coach prescribes and what I typically see when I spy on other people's training plans.
Huh. Okay.
So the GTN conversation was around somebody asking about how do they hold high intensity for the 200 meter reps, and they're like, don't do that. You don't want to be doing that, especially as a beginner. Your 200 reps and beyond, that's your endurance stuff, right? You're not doing a 4-mile sprint run. The same premise is you don't want to try to bring that kind of intensity to a long swim set very often. So the argument was that, especially as you're beginning in swimming, don't judge yourself by how hard or how well you handle a hard 200 meter swim, which I think is a mistake.
It's all the same to me. I don't know how to gauge hard or slow. I feel like I'm gasping for breath the whole time, whether I'm pushing or not. So I just swim. I don't even think about faster. I mean, I guess, let me qualify it. I do know fast. Like I do know when I'm trying to go really, really fast, but everything else is like the same darn speed. I can feel my heart rate pick up. I can feel myself running out of air at the same, whether it's a 50 or 100 or 200. Like I don't know how people gauge that.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just practicing the pacing of it. So I struggled with it for a while, but we had a number of workouts that were 100 meters super easy, 100 meters easy, 100 meters harder, 100 meters hard. And for me, it was based off pacing. So it was easy for me to say, okay, that one was a little too fast, so try to dial it down for the next one. And just, it took me probably a year and a half to really start getting at all good at it. I wouldn't still say I'm good at it, but
I think you're a better swimmer than I am. I think you've gotten good. I can't break like 140. That's like no matter what. That's my speed, man.
It depends on what better means, right? Like our race day performances, I'm not showing up on those days. So a pool swim ability only matters so much.
Well, what about the new Form goggles? Have you checked those out?
I want those so badly. And whenever I'm not on the startup budget, I want one. Because I think, so I get a lot of anxiety in the pool. Like with running and biking, a lot of the workouts we do are time-based. So it's like I'm swimming for 30 minutes and I'm running for 30 minutes and that's it. And with swimming, it's go do this distance and it'll take you a certain amount of time. I don't know how long. And that drives me absolutely crazy, which is probably speaks to why I can't sit at the wall for very long. Because I'm like,
you got to get moving.
I got stuff to do. We got to get out of here.
Yeah, I want the Form goggles too, but they only work with like Garmin and Apple watches for open water swimming for a certain extent of it, but like it'll still give you your time. So I'm still thinking maybe I can justify the purchase of them so that I can see like at my last race, at the last Ironman in Arizona, I was going like I would have told you I got done in 45 minutes. I felt like I was flying, and it was like an hour 15, like always. So I think it would have been helpful to know, like, I haven't even hit the turn back yet, and I'm at minute 50. That's probably bad. I need to pick it up a little bit. Like, I think I could still use the form goggles that way rather than seeing what my pace is. But I think that would be, I wish they had other than just Garmin and Apple.
That is what I want as well, because I get very anxious before the race, and so my rate of perceived exertion is much higher than I'm actually putting out. So like for the first part of that race, I'm always ideally looking at the actuality of the numbers and not just how I feel, because the rest will come back around. So I can't do that in a swim. So triathlon stressing me out a little bit.
Yep, fair enough. All right, well, what do you got going on the 21st of April that you decided to keep me from joining?
I invited you. I think I mentioned it a couple times, and I was like, okay, he doesn't want to do it. I get it. The emo rando. I love getting to call it the emo rando. Eastern Missouri rando bike ride.
I hate that title so much. But what is the emo rando?
So it is a self-supported 200 or 100K bike ride starting from the Chesterfield Big Shark location, going all throughout Wildwood, Eureka, Chesterfield, and I think kind of further into the St. Louis area. Not into the city, obviously, but a little bit eastern into the St. Louis area than I would typically see. So I think it's like 10% gravel, and that gravel is like Katy Trail gravel. So
it's not even that. Like you said it was gravel, and that's what really confused me, because it's like 2 miles unpaved.
It seemed like it was gravel-y, and then it's
I guess this is the 100. Are you doing the 200 or the 100?
I'm doing the 200.
Okay.
But there's honestly, it's about the same proportion. And even then, the gravel is Katy Trail limestone gravel. So
sure. Well, I don't have a bike to do it, so I couldn't. What do I mean by that? I don't have a road bike. I have a tri bike.
You take the tri bike, you'll make it through the limestone.
I don't know, man. I think I can't. I crashed that thing on good tarmac, let alone on Katie's Trail, little pebbles.
Yeah, I am a little I'm riding slicks, but they're wide. They're like 34s. Mm-hmm. So the last time I crashed my road bike there, I was riding like 28s. So, but they're still slicks, and I don't know if the slicks made me crash or, the brain stupidities made me crash.
Your air.
Yeah.
What are they? Tubeless?
Yeah, I'm.
That will help.
Aboard the tubeless train.
I mean, I don't know if I would, but you could lower the pressure a little bit and give you a little extra grip. But
I think it'll be all right. It's not that far. And
I mean, worst case, you walk 2 miles, take a little breather. Okay, so you sent it to me. A few things happened. Let me clear the air about why I didn't respond before you suddenly start feeling offended. One, you sent me a link that was on Facebook, and so it's impossible to read anything on Facebook. It's just a whole bunch of ads flying around and people's posts, and like you get distracted and you forget why you went there. And it's like this virtual world. So I hate Facebook and I don't go to it. And then you also said it was a gravel, and so that confused me. I'm looking back through our notes here. Yeah, all right, we messaged a little bit about it. And then I just totally forgot it even happened, that conversation even happened.
See, you know what to solve this problem is there's a wonderful platform called Zipper where any fitness and wellness business or race directors can launch their website, a branded website with race registration available. What solved all these problems?
It sure would. I got this fun. We didn't plan this. This is not a planned promotional material, but this is why I like Zipper so much. It's meeting an absolute need. I hate bikereg.com. I hate active.com's race roster. All of those registration pages suck. They're so difficult to use.
Yeah, I don't want to actually get into this tangent, but I'm so desperate to get into that area for the same reason, but the cost prohibitiveness of it is a problem. These races don't make a ton of money. It's hard for us to make money in that scenario. So the exorbitant service fees are kind of what pull the wagon there for.
I want to get into this, so we'll have another topic about it. But it's like, what do they charge? 1% of the transaction or something? I mean, is it more than that?
It depends on the provider. So, and for us, a lot of them get to run their own payment processing. We're a startup. We use Stripe, so 3% to Stripe, and then we try to
plus the one, so it's like 5% gets.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. All right.
Get there, but we'll see.
All right, fair enough. We'll have maybe we can get your chief financial officer on sometime to walk us through the nuances about it. So you're doing and the third thing why I didn't want to do it is it's self-sufficient, which I hate. I like. How are you gonna do? What's your plan for nutrition and hydration over 200? You're just gonna put that all on the bicycle? Don't care.
It'll be fine. I'm vegan. I'll eat grass. We'll figure it out.
That doesn't make any sense. None of that makes any sense. I am like shaking with anger. That was the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Why? No, seriously, what is your plan? You haven't thought about it, or you're just gonna stop at the gas station every so often and buy a Gatorade?
Yeah, so I got 2 bottles that'll ride on the frame, so that'll be about 60 ounces of water. I have a handlebar bag that I like to use for the longer rides. I can fit all the nutrition.
Arrow. You're screaming arrow.
Yeah. I'm on a gravel bike, so I'm not super concerned about it. So that'll have all my nutrition, and then probably like pill bottles of Gatorade or sugar or whatever I need to mix up with some water. So all I need to do is find water. And if I don't, who needs water anyways? It's not that important.
Well, then I forgot what I wanted to ask now. Oh, I was watching. I wasn't watching. I use Full Gas for my indoor trainers, as you know, and I was doing the South Africa race, and everyone in that, I don't know when it was filmed. I think it was like around the pandemic, because I think the people on the side are wearing masks. But everyone there had 2 water bottles, one on the stem and then one on the bar. And it was driving me crazy. It's like, that's the least aerodynamic place to put them. But everybody had those 2. They didn't have anything behind the seat. And I was like, so is that like how, but it also had like places to stop off and get water. I was like, 2 thoughts. 1, that's wild. Why is that happening? And then 2, like, man, why aren't there races like there are marathons? Like, there's marathons everywhere, or 5Ks or whatever. I can't find any bicycle races. And then I have like a mental block, because then like the next day I invite you to do a 5K and you're like, Zach, that's when we're doing the emo rando.
So actually I posed this question to Mike at Big Shark, because I also didn't understand. And there's a reason why this is probably a self-supported race. The ability to put on a long road race requires insurance. In a lot of cases, it requires like police at dangerous intersections. By city ordinances, all that kind of stuff. And so to block off or to maintain those kind of roads over these longer distances is just not really a scalable thing. So that's why gravel is able to take off, because those kind of roads aren't as dangerous, and there's not as much through traffic. There's just not as much risk. So from what I've been told, that's why gravel is more common for these longer distances, because they can just pull it off. And we don't have any gravel around here, so we can't really do that besides Katy Trail, where there's a lot of pedestrians. So also doesn't really work out that great.
Oh man, I can't ride on any of the trails because of those pedestrians. It's miserable. All right, well, on my 21st of April, you can come to my stomping grounds, to the Tower Grove Park, and race for refugees. Man, even today it's gotten like 8 registrations, so I've been really promoting this. This is the gentleman who beat me last year, so hopefully he won't be back, so I can walk out with a cool little trophy like that. But it supports the International Institute of St. Louis, and if you message me, I can get you a $5 off coupon, so you can join the race. And what I like about this, and I think a lot of race organizers should do, is you can decline the shirt, and then it goes to that cost is returned to the organizer. I don't want a shirt anymore. I have so many shirts; they're useless to me. So I'd rather pay less money, to be honest, than to get a shirt. But this is the next best scenario. Goes to a good cause. Fun 5K in Austin Tower Grove Park. Want to see you there if you're not doing the emo rando, and take some pictures with me. Enjoy the photo op.
I'm bummed I missed out on that, man. I been doing a extreme amount of running for me, so it would have been nice to do a 5K, but going for the ultra distances lately. So
yep,
sticking with the bike.
Well, I'm kind of excited about it because I was going to tell my coach to start putting in some short, intense runs for me in preparation for Rookies and Rock Stars in the first weekend of May. And this just kind of fell in on that, so that's cool. So that'll be good. All right, so speaking of Rookies and Rock Stars, that's my first race of the season. And what do you got lined up for your race season?
My first race is this Saturday, the Ozark Foothills Double Marathon, or 50 miler. So
whoa,
that's gonna be fun.
You say the word Ozark, but like
Ozark
where?
Foothills. So it is Eureka, Wildwood area. I don't know if it's either of those towns literally, but it's around there.
That's not the Ozarks.
It's the Ozark Foothills. I don't know what that means, but it's called the Ozark Foothills.
I suppose I don't have any clue, so I shouldn't be acting like I do. But
I don't know why it's
Wildwood does not sound like Ozarks to me.
Yeah. So. Yeah.
All right. What do you got after that? So you got a long run, and then what?
And then we got the 200K on the 21st, and then my 100K that did not work out so great. They launched they call it the Baby Shippy. So the Baby Shippy is on June 2nd, so it's a half marathon trail race. And I don't have any triathlons planned. I do then have another 100K like proper gravel race in July that I have planned, and then the only thing that I want to do triathlon wise is the Dirty Mitten Half Crazy Triathlon, which is 2,200 meter swim, a ridiculously hard 58-mile bike ride, and then a half marathon on the trails. So allegedly, and I rode the bike course, and it was a rough day. They say it is the hardest 70.3 on North America soil. It's a gravel bike race up some very treacherous terrain. Sager Road apparently is the ominous name to watch out for, and then a trail half marathon. So that's gonna be fun. That's what I'm looking forward to. But I got to make sure I can get out to Michigan to make it happen.
And when would that be?
Late September. So if you want to do something crazy, go pick yourself up a gravel bike.
Well, I shouldn't say that. I do have a gravel bike, but I hate it. So
the winner gets a like wrestling style championship belt, which I so desperately wanted.
That's cool.
Because the first year I could get in the top 10%, and then they got published in the USA Tri magazine as one of the best races to do. And the next year, somebody ran like a 6-minute per mile pace on the trails. I'm like, okay, never mind. That idea is gone. It's erased.
Well, I see all these YouTube videos of people like, can I win a 10K from starting in last place and whatever? And then they do, but like the times are like 42 minutes. Like so I was like, where have you found a local race where the times are that slow? Like there's nothing in St. Louis nearly, like even these 5Ks, like the race for refugees, you're gonna need to break 17 minutes to win that race probably.
It's not like St. Louis is a hub,
right? Yeah,
endurance sports. So that's interesting. I don't know.
I think they either do two things. I think maybe three things. I don't. Maybe it's fake entirely, and they don't win. But they say they do.
You can make fake things on the internet. It's illegal.
Yeah, really? What is this? All right. I got only so far. I don't even know if I've actually registered yet. I need to double check this. Newtown, Rookies and Rockstar, May 5, Newtown, July 14, Lake Springfield, July 27. So those are and then Race for Refugees. those are the only races I got on the calendar. Thinking about doing Arizona again in the November period, which is a week before the St. Louis Track Club's marathon relay. So we might be able to do that, but it's probably close to Thanksgiving time, which is probably going to be a rub. And then coaches suggested Muncie, Indiana, 70.3, and then the Michigan 70.3. So I don't know if I'm going to do those yet, but still thinking about it. That'll be 3 70.3s for me. And the two of them are Ironman brand. Like, I don't particularly, this is interesting. I don't want actually to do Ironman 70.3s. I just don't feel the need to pay for those. But the full distance, I want to. So I don't know why that is. I guess I'd rather just do the Titan. Is that the one in Michigan? The
Titanium.
Yeah, the Titanium. I think that would be fun, but I don't know when it is.
That is in August. I was going to do that this year, but opted out and just doing the single sports this year. But this is also another conversation around just the 70.3s that are unbranded or not Ironman are just gone.
Yeah,
like we're running out. And the Ironman distance, they're hardly ever warranted to begin with. But the Michigan Titanium 70.3 and the full distance are really, really reputable. The team running those, they also run the Dirty Mitten Triathlon. Like they just have their stuff together. They're awesome. So I would be very excited to race those races. I'm on their athlete forums on Facebook, and people say nothing but good things. So
okay, all right. Well, I'll have to maybe revisit that. I hate speaking of even Ironman distances in North America. There's like 9 of them. It's hard to find them now. There's fewer this year than there were last year. When I was looking at the options, there aren't any anymore.
Yeah, I don't know if it's quieting down a little bit or what's happening. To be honest, I always try to look into that kind of thing because obviously it's related to what Zipper does. We're serving.
You should have a bead on the pulse here on the market, on the industry.
I know, but I'm hearing. Obviously the company isn't going to come out and say, "Yeah, we're not having as much attendance," so they're not going to admit it. And then everyone just kind of has a different perspective based on when you're at. Like, because St. Louis, the amount of triathlons we have seems to get cut in half every year. But,
I was going to say the opposite. I feel like there's always a new one starting. I mean, there's like tons of short Olympic distance races.
These shorter ones, they're coming back around, it seems. But like the 70.3s are all gone. We used to have like 5, and I think we're down to 2 or 3.
Oh, that might be. Yeah. All right.
To be honest, I don't really watch the sprints of the Olympics. I'll just
you're a snob about it. I get it.
Around, so.
Yeah. It's not worth your time. You ultra endurance.
Yeah. How do you get out of bed to do less than an hour of exercise? Like, if we're not doing 100 miles, what's the point of even leaving the house?
All right, we're coming in on one of our longest episodes ever. So I posed to you whether you thought you would be interested in creating a T3 Zipper Hunsinger Law Group team for Pedal the Cause, and then you said I don't understand what that means. So let's revisit that and see if I can convince you into it, because I want to do a few things this year with this new season of content. I want us to promote the channel, but I also want us to do stuff with the channel. Like, I think it'd be cool to be at a race and stream some of it, and like have competitions. Like, anyone who beats me in a 5K gets a free legal consultation, or 30 shares on YouTube gets you a free race entry to something. I think we should start doing some of that.
Yeah. But we're not going to use me as a measuring stick. So the challenge is going to be beating you. You get nothing for beating me. Nothing.
All right, fair enough. Or like we could have like training sessions or whatever. Like, you could come into the city and we could do an easy 10K jog with the fans or something.
I'm trying to put together a weekly trail run on this side of the river. There's a trail that I'm just in love with that I want to do.
How is that like a 90-minute run? Where are you talking?
It's a 2.5 to 3 mile loop that I do clockwise and then counterclockwise, or you can just stop after the clockwise. So
it's like 5 miles.
Yeah, and it's slow because it's on trails, and it's on the SIUE campus. It's a wonderful place.
Coach wants me to do more trails, but I hate trails. But maybe you can. Maybe I'll do it for the fans if we get something started. So all right. So what I meant for pedal the cause, if I remember somewhat correctly, you make a team and then you fundraise, and then you go do a really long bike ride, and I don't know if this is.
I like really long bike rides.
Yeah. Although don't look that long.
I don't get out of bed for less than 100 miles.
Well, let's see if I can find something a bit quicker. Get involved. Let's see. Ride. Maybe it's different now. Maybe I'm wrong. Have you ever done Pedal the Cause?
Nope. I'm unfamiliar.
Huh. I've only donated to it and done some stuff. All right. Well, I'll have to come back to this. Maybe. Okay. So I think it's like a fundraising team. So we'd be like a team, and then we'd ask people to sponsor us as we do one of the long rides. And I think we could do that. What do you think?
Sounds good to me.
Wow. Ambitious, Team Keeley, 100K.
Well, it's just a goal, right? So let's just make our goal 1 million. And if we don't hit the goal.
All right. I love that. That's what we're going to do. Man, we got to beat United by Design, though. That's pretty baller. Good for them. All right. So we're going to have the T3 Zipper HLG team trying to raise $1 million. And then we're going to go ride on September 21st and the 22nd and get it all done.
Sounds like a plan.
All right. Well, that's what I'm known for, being the plan maker. All right. Anything else to leave for us?
This is a long episode.
Yeah. Well, it's been so long, and like, if we don't record, then I don't talk to you. So I'm just trying to catch up.
We've got to keep all our conversations strictly on record, because of the incident.
That's so funny. That's actually true. People can watch the evolution of our relationship. We're the real
capital on the internet for everyone to see.
All right, man.
I got nothing. So.
All right. Well, I'll talk to you later.
All right.